Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome all to the Goober Diaspora Network SEAT, where we meet with our members, we engage with them, we find out a bit more about what they're doing, we find out a bit more about their journeys of engaging and connecting with Ghana, and we listen to their advice. We listen to their key advice. So my name is Jennifer Jankrofa. I'm the head of Goober Diaspora Network, and I help people engage, connect, do business, and invest in Ghana, as well as my team of individuals. We have a team of people in Ghana. We have a number of people outside of Ghana that also help us support those within a network, but we also have a number of people that are not necessarily part of the network, but also regularly reach out to us for all kinds of reasons. So, good afternoon, Ella. Lovely to see you. Lovely to have you join us once again. I hope you're well and we thank you for joining us. So as more and more people start joining, I will shortly bring on our guests. Good evening, Honorine. Lovely to have you join us. So very shortly, you'll be introduced to our two ladies. So today it's a girls' night. No. Please. Men, we also want to hear from you. But today, for whatever reason, the ladies have come forward. Men, don't be shy. We want to hear about your experiences. And hi, Ken. Hi. Great to have you join us. So very shortly, you'll hear from our two lovely ladies. And when I mention these ladies, I mean, of course, you're going to hear about them very shortly. But these ladies are doing things, I mean, like every time I hear about all of the different stories and programs and projects and opportunities that people are tapping into, it just kind of blows our minds. Sometimes we hear a lot of negative or, issues or problems that people are going through. But you know what? Through all of that, the hills, the bumps, the ditches, the whole crevices, but people are moving, people are getting things done, people are investing, people are seeing the opportunities. And it just inspires me to continue doing the work that I do. And I hope it will also inspire you to continue pushing through. I mean, of course, we understand that the terrain in Ghana or Africa at times is not always easy. There's a lot of adjustment that needs to be made on various levels. I could even say people have come to me in tears, frustration, anger, whatever it may be, but they are all emotions and they are all things that, yes, we sometimes have to go through. But that doesn't mean that we stop. We keep moving. I'm sure there's a song, keep on moving, don't stop now. Anyway, you just keep moving, and just see that little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, because believe me, there is light. But thank you all once again for joining us for tonight's session. It is definitely going to be an interesting one. I think there's lots to share and lots to learn. Just backstage, as we were, I was engaging with the ladies, I was just learning so much about what they're doing, who they are, their desires, the motivation, what keeps them going. And I'm encouraging them. I encourage them, and I will continue to encourage them and everyone else to continue. We're all on a journey. Some people may be further up on their journey than others. Others may still be trying to get on that path, whatever pathway it is that you're going, but keep moving and keep on that pathway, because believe me, there will be reward at the end of the day. But without further ado, hi Nanette, hey my sister. Hi guys. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome on Natasha. Okay, Natasha. You look lovely, by the way. Hey,
Oh, Madasi for
hey,
sure.
hey.
Yes, 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 yes. What do I
Lovely
say?
to
A
have
quabo or
you.
etise? I say etise.
Yes, it's saying that
Yes, all
either
right,
one,
very
either one, we accept
it
it.
was fine. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much for complimenting me. I'm literally
You,
off a 10-hour flight from Ghana. So this is what you
yeah.
get when you've been on the plane for 10 hours. I'm headed
You
back.
still look beautiful, gal.
Oh, thank you.
Listen,
I'm headed
but you
back
know
to,
what?
go
Oh,
ahead.
where are you going again?
I'm headed back to San Diego. Yes,
Oh, okay, okay. So when are you
yes,
back
yes.
in Ghana?
I'm supposed to be back on the 15th ish. I'm only spending a
Okay.
couple of days here, then I'll be headed back. There's work to be done in Ghana. Yeah. So,
Yes, yes, yes. There's work to be good. There's
yes,
work to be
yes,
done in Ghana. I
that's
love that
correct.
line. I love that
That's
line.
correct.
And we're
I'll
all
get a
on a
t shirt.
journey to,
Yes.
yes, definitely. But Natasha, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming on. And I know that you're in between flights and you're probably knackered and mashed up and probably just want to tuck up in bed and eat some good food. But you are here and we thank
Yes.
you for taking the time out to join us tonight. And I mean, I think it's quite important. I've just realised that the fly is still there. I don't know how to get rid of. But anyway, I'll sort that out as I go along. But I
Challenge Delta Flight 51206 on the stop to Nashville, Tennessee, to go with B48 at this time. This is the final and immediate one call for
that's
all
not
tickets
your
confirmed
boarding flight, is
passengers.
it?
Delta Flight 5106 on the stop to Nashville, to go with B48 at this time. They'll be closing in approximately 4 minutes.
It's
And
in
once the door
between.
closes, doors will reopen and seats are subject for cancellation. Finally, immediate one call for all tickets confirmed passengers traveling Delta Flight 5106 on the stop to Nashville.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
There you
sure
go.
he knew that you were doing it live, right?
I'm sure he just blew up my whole spot. Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
lovely Natasha, I know that you're in the midst of all kinds of stuff. But thank you once again for being with us tonight. But tell us, who is Natasha? Who is Natasha?
Okay. Well, Natasha Osei Antry is married to a Ghanaian Ashanti man, just recently, almost a year and a half. I'm actually born in the United States, actually Chicago area. Then we moved because of the military to San Diego, California, where I've been residing thus far. I like to call myself bi-coastal. I think that's the word I'm going to use because I'm back and forth like every 35, 50 days in Ghana because we do have a business there.
Yeah,
My background is in residential sales, whether it be leasing or purchasing in the States. And so, on a trip to Ghana in 2019 with the NAACP and the Adinka group, I had the honor to visit the motherland for the first time, and it was Ghana.
good,
Yes. Uh-huh.
good.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's just beautiful. I mean, it's so nice and humbling hearing that you've chosen Ghana as your motherland,
Hmm.
definitely. And the thing is that so what was the first impressions when you kind of came to Ghana and you started engaging with Ghana? What kind of came to your mind? What was it a feeling? What was it, what are the emotions?
Well, let me tell you, my first trip with the NAACP, they didn't tell you what to wear, but they pretty much said to be comfortable. So I pretty much dressed like I was going to a safari. I knew I had like one or two business summits, but I thought, I thought what everyone else thought about the Western world. For the some odd reason, I did not get on YouTube and look it up to see how people are really doing big things in Africa. I did not look. So when the plane landed and I looked at the airport, I said, "Oh my gosh, I need to go shopping because I know I'm not dressed." I had leggings and tennis shoes. I got off the plane. Their airport looked better than my San Diego airport. The women here smell good, look good. They was driving Range Rovers. I was in awe and I felt so stupid and so horrible and felt so ignorant. But I was intrigued. It was an eye opener for me. I mean, I called my family back home and I explained to them, like, listen, whatever you thought of Africa, it is not that at all. I don't know why they keep it from us, but they have. But guess what? This is not my last time coming to visit at all. So, yeah, my first impression was it was an eye opener.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, it's interesting you talk about the impressions that are presented, because sometimes even as much as you talk to people, people are like, we don't always realize how influential the media and people's perceptions are on us, and from people that have not necessarily been to Africa, but they seem to think that they know everything about it. And until you get there and have that connection and realize the reality, you realize that no, no, no. But good on you, and well
Yeah,
done for doing that.
yeah.
How have you continued to engage? So I know that you mentioned that you got married and you set up an organization. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, so just to speed you up to get to there, on that initial trip, we had a business summit and came out. The first lady, the CEO of a tourism banking CEOs came out, and they pretty much told our group of 300 people that now is the time to invest in Ghana. We pretty much want you to come here as an African American and collaborate us to rebuild, to help continue building Ghana. And so we all heard that, but we just didn't know how. And so just throughout the entire day, they just poured into us the investment opportunities that could be in Ghana, whether it be in real estate, whether it be in school, whether it be in agriculture, whether it be in just you name it, medical field, you name it, just come and help us. Collaborate and grow together. And so from that, I continued to come back. They invited me back for Dirty December, and I that was a whole nother that's a whole nother day. That's a whole nother day, a whole nother conversation. There was, trust me, there was a lot of networking, but there was no business. Well, yeah, I guess there was, but it was more Dirty December in December. And I came back. That's when I had met my husband, and we started to
Oh,
grow together. And we talked about just opening up an international branch of Akuya Properties in Ghana.
okay.
And that took some time because, as you know, how the processes and systems are in Ghana, but we were able to get through with it. And we literally started business last year in September. We
Okay.
have a staff of 5 people that
Excellent.
are all locally. They're Ghanaians. I do have an international branch of international agents that are hired on through the Western world in Ghana. And we just help people buy,
Mhm.
sell, purchase, and manage real estate. We like to consider ourselves to be more of a luxury brand. Luxury does this is not like the price point of luxury, but just all around services. And
Okay.
so we pride ourselves in just having best practices and systems. We've received
Mm.
referrals from your office as it relates to clients who are looking for housing accommodations. As
Oh,
you know, housing accommodations in Ghana could be very stressful. And so any
mhm.
client that's referred to us, we just try to do our best to help facilitate that process and not make it so daunting for them. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. I picked on the fact that you mentioned, yes, the securing property, a house, accommodation, whether it be rental, buy-in, or whatever it may be,
Hmm.
can be a bit of a tedious task sometimes,
Hmm.
especially if you are not given the right referrals, and then you are
Right.
led towards somebody that could do whatever they choose to do. But
Right.
before I come to that, you mentioned about employing
Hmm.
local Ghanaian staff. Tell me about that
Right.
process and how that's been for you and your lessons learned.
Well, I took them through a hiring process like I would do anyone hiring in the States. We did 3 interviews. The first one was the introduction section. The second one was diving a little bit deeper. And the third one was to pretty much welcome them to the team if they did pass from that. I was asking them questions about customer service and how you deal with people because that's the biggest complaint when people come to Ghana is the customer service is not there, right? And I was just sharing with you offline some of the challenges that I was having with the staff. It's just an uphill battle for me that I will overcome is communication. We have the Western world English, they have British English, so when I say something they interpret it a little different than what I said. And so I've just trained my staff
Excellent.
on just, pretty much if you don't quite understand what I'm saying, just to ask questions. But I would tell you that Ghanaian people, I've done my best in the last year and a half to even outsource some of the things that I do here in the States to Ghanaian businesses because they're some of the smartest intelligent people that I've ever met in my entire life. They just been given an opportunity.
Yes.
Our
Yes.
websites, our flyers, anything as relates to business here or in Ghana. I've tried to outsource it to individuals in Ghana.
Mm. I think that's quite key. And yes, there are, I mean, of course, the differences are there. And you rightly mentioned your accent, your tonation. I'm sure
Yes,
you probably
yes,
speak fast and, they might not quite get it. But you also highlighted that Ghanaians are some of the brightest, most
mm,
intelligent people, and it's just that opportunity and that platform. So there's a middle ground that kind of needs to be met. And
right,
in the working environment, I mean, of course, just like I'd say to people that I engage with that, everybody can learn from each other. There's a
right,
lot, having lived in the UK and not like been in Ghana as long, there's a lot that I can learn from the team that I
right,
need to learn. Not that
right,
I need to learn in order to be able to engage in the community and work with other people. And there's also other things that, can be learned from myself. And work ethics is a big thing.
mm-hmm,
It's slightly different in Ghana to what those outside might be used to. But again, we also need to understand that in Ghana, the working environment can be different. The fact that, people might come in the morning and have breakfast, it might be a usual thing. Whereas, maybe in the UK, you just have a lunch break. What's
right.
breakfast?
Yeah,
Breakfast at
exactly,
don't come to
exactly,
work for breakfast. But no,
exactly. Yeah,
but it's
yeah, uh-huh,
about understanding and working within those parameters. But yeah, there's lots that can be learned, and for me, it's an upward trajectory. It's about moving forward with the
right,
information and looking
right.
at how to engage with each other.
Yes,
But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I've got a statement that says learning from your experiences. Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's a good thing. You also highlighted the fact that searching for accommodation in Ghana
mm-hmm,
um, can have its, positives as well as negatives. Can you expand
right.
a bit on that?
Yeah, the housing market in Ghana, as it relates to housing accommodations, has its own system within a system. And, one of the things that my Ghanaian employees have taught me is patience. I come from the Western world. I'm wound up, I'm wound up like a
Hi, I'm
tornado,
ready to
right?
go.
Yeah. And what I pride ourselves in with the Queer properties is that we have selected cooperating brokers that we work with, that if we do not have the property the client needs, that we have other cooperating brokers that might have them, right? Because for some reason the housing market is like a secret. It's like not everyone knows every listing. See, in the States we have what's called like an MLS, where you put all your listing in this platform and all you do is log on and you're able to see exactly what listings are coming available, right? Unfortunately in Ghana they do not have that. So relationships and networking is key in Ghana to pretty much understand what the market has to offer. And we do not want to be at a disadvantage with our clients. So we do our best to network with other individuals in the market that has integrity and that have best systems to be able to assist our clients. Oh, I can't hear you.
I think I muted myself.
Oh, no
Yeah.
worries.
I'm
Yes,
here again. So you mentioned networking in Ghana.
yes, correct.
It's very key. I mean, yes, Ghana is very much about relationships, very
Right,
much about who you know,
right.
very much about you know and this is something I actually I missed out. I mean, my background is Ghanaian, but I lived in the UK, so I missed out on the relationships that are developed through school.
Mm-hmm.
See, SHS. There was a lot of people that have continued maintaining those relationships throughout their life.
Mm-hmm. Right,
It develops into more, professional relationships and business
correct.
relationships and
Right.
various things. So those are quite key in helping people progress and get things done. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, sometimes I ask myself, okay, having those relationships are great. But then do we really, I mean, this is maybe a general question to put out there. Do we really take people on based on the qualifications, the experiences, or the relationship that we have? Because
Well, well, uh, in the Western world, you definitely have to be qualifying. But I find in Ghana, it can be a combination of both depending on
yeah,
what it's all about, right?
mm,
Um, some consider
mm,
it as a good thing and some consider it as a bad thing. So what I try to focus on is just taking all three pillars and wrapping them up together, putting them in a
mhm,
bowl and spitting out an outcome.
yeah, yeah,
Um, relationships. I think relationships help you get in the door, but who you are and your qualifications keeps you. You know,
well, yeah,
um, it's
yeah.
one thing I can know you, Jennifer, right? But if I don't know real estate, you don't know me, right?
The
So
long
there
and
you go.
short, the
Exactly.
long and
So
short. But
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. The conversation is very short. So I think relationships
yeah,
gets you in the door, and what you know pretty much keeps you in the door, right? So.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I mean, what would you say, before I kind of move on to Candice, what would you say is one of your biggest learning points when it comes to, your whole engagement process with Ghana? What would you advise others that maybe you didn't do it as well initially, but you would be like, you know what, make sure you do this if you want to connect with Ghana.
You know what? I said it earlier, outside of patience, I would tell someone to take it slow. You can bump your head several times in Ghana if you try and rush, 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 rush. See, for me in the States, time is money, even though technically it's really not, but they say it is. But time is money. So the faster you move, the easier you can get things done. In Ghana, I don't want to say the slower you move, but the more you take your time, investigate, evaluate, watch from afar, the more likely the outcome is going to be in your favor. If you rush things, it might not be as green as you thought it was going to be green. So that's why we established the company a year before we even launched, because I bumped my head a couple times coming over thinking that like I was like Oprah. I had to slow down a bit and get myself together and then come back out, and we opened up our branch in Accra. So it just take your time, be patient, do your research, build healthy, foster healthy relationships with organizations such as yourself, and just learn more about Ghana before you just step out there.
Excellent, excellent. I think that's quite key. That's quite sound, and that's quite straightforward.
Mhm.
Learn before you jump. You understand? Learn to walk
Yep.
before you jump.
Yep.
But excellent. But Natasha, thank you so much. We are going to get you back
Mhm.
in hopefully
Yes,
before
yes,
you
yes,
have to catch your flight.
yes.
And I'm going to call upon Candice. So we've got the lovely Candice, all the way from, I believe, is it the West Coast? I'm sure she's going to correct me. So I'm going to bring on Candice Vernon, and she's going to tell us who she is.
Hi,
Hi,
hello.
Candice.
Hi,
Lovely to
Jennifer.
have you on. So yeah, who is Candice? Who are you? Who are you, Candice?
I am I am just a human. No, no, seriously. I'm originally from Jamaica, and I currently live in Los Angeles on the West Coast. And I am a film director, a commercial director here in LA. I mainly direct celebrity endorsement commercials. Like I've worked with Regina King, Sterling K. Brown, Meryl Streep, and just a long list of celebrities. I've done short films. I actually just finished a documentary that we're in the midst of selling. But I also am a huge fan of Ghana. The first time I went to Ghana was 2019, and I went for pure enjoyment. And within, I think, yeah, I mean, it was the year of return,
Yes,
and
yes.
I always had a. It wasn't my first time on the continent, but it was my first time in West Africa. And when I got there, I was like, Ghana feels like home. Accra feels like Kingston, Jamaica. Aburi
Yeah.
feels like, St. Anne's in the hills where I'm from in Jamaica. So I felt very, very, very much at home, and just my spirit was at peace there.
Yeah.
And literally maybe 2 months, less than 2 months later, after like I had left in January. I actually was less than 2 months. I was there again, like, end of February, but I went back to give back because I've always been a mentor and always given back in my life ever since I was a teenager. And I went to the Right to Dream Academy in Okasumbo
Oh, yes.
to speak
Yeah,
to
right, Virginia. Yeah.
the girls there. Actually, I'm still a mentor to some of the girls. One of the girls, the only girl to have gone pro, she's now playing in Denmark. I have
Oh,
adopted her
okay.
as my child because
Oh,
she
wow.
was. So
It's beautiful.
it's I just went back to give back and to speak to young girls that come from places like I came from. My life is so different now, but I love to inspire. And in the midst of continuously going back to Ghana, I just things are starting to come to me. I've acquired land now in the Eastern region,
Okay.
and I also have an investment property in the airport residential area. And in the midst of all of that, I co-founded a company called InvestWise Africa, where we are essentially consultants that take diasporans to Ghana and Kigali, Rwanda, to show them the opportunities in terms of investments in real estate, in tourism, in technology, in agriculture, and also commodities, because I've been investing in crude oil in Ghana since 2021. So there's just so much to do. And there's like a give back element to everything that we do, that we show people in the US and in the UK. So that's a little bit about what I've been doing.
Excellent. I mean, I think listening to you, what I take from it is that you are investing. So you're investing for the future, the next steps, the next generation, the next stages, but you're also giving back in your own social ways through the charitable work that you do, or whatever means you are also very passionate about giving back. And I think that's beautiful, because I think when diasporans come, yes, people do see the opportunities and the big projects and the investments and the, properties and all of that. But there's also certain things. I mean, Natasha talked about not rushing and taking your time. And there's also other aspects where you can actually engage with to help grow communities, to help provide communities with opportunities. And, this young lady that you mentored is now doing what she's doing in Denmark. And that's just beautiful. That in itself is a success story. And it just shows how important it is for all of us to give a little of ourselves. And it doesn't have to be money, but it can be time. It can be, just that short conversation or just a bit of encouragement. And well done for doing that. And
Yeah.
Candice, I mean, you highlighted your initial time in Ghana was 2019, with
Yes.
that whole year of the return. Was it around the Christmas?
Yeah, I went. I think I landed like December the 23rd, and I wanted to spend Christmas. I spent Christmas, New Year's. I think I was there for almost 3 weeks the first time. And like I said, I just felt like I was at home, and I had the opportunity to go back to speak to, the girls at the school, because at that time the program was pretty young. I think it was less than 5 years. And I went, and I told them, hey, I'd be back, and maybe people tell them that they'll be back all the time. But, I came back again, within less than a year, went back to the school. Like every time I come to Ghana, which is probably 3 times a year, which is going to increase now, especially with the business that I'm doing. I always went back and made sure that I spoke to the young girls specifically, because like you said, money is great to invest in, but if you're not investing your time and your knowledge, and the resources that you have, I think that's more important, because that's more lasting.
Yeah, definitely, lasting legacy. You mentioned that you had your first investment property.
Yes.
And talk to us about that. How did that go? How did you choose where to invest, or what company or organization to invest your money in? And how did you actually finalize your property? And what was the process that you went through with that?
With that, I'm like Natasha said, you got to stay informed, and you got to do your research. And I love to research everything before I make any decisions. And I do have friends that are Ghanaian and that live in Ghana that I trust very much. That's always been there for me. And, I would go to them for like different questions and sources. And I wanted to work with a trusted developer. So, like the property that I have is with DevTraco, which obviously, is a big name. And it was a very seamless process because I also had a local financial advisor that was recommended by a friend that showed me around to different developments. I went and met with developers, with architects. I went to view places. Like for me, I have to see something before I can just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And I always like I'm very spiritual, and I let my spirit and lead me into different situations and different people, whether I can find them trustworthy or not, backed up with like recommendations as well and referrals. And the process was pretty easy. There was a price tag. I said no. Probably, and everything's negotiable, right?
The price tag.
Everything's always negotiable in life. So, I negotiated as much as I could. And, with the process, it was just, okay, this deposit, that deposit, this deposit here. And it was pretty seamless. I think because also I was working with DevTraco. So it was like, it was a very well-known developer. And at the moment with the business that I was telling you backstage earlier, I'll be back in Ghana June the 16th because I have been working with a new developer that, wants foreign investments or people from the diaspora to come and, buy these properties. So we're going to make that a seamless process because if someone like me that's not from Ghana, can't have property, it's not easy, but we want to take away the stigma that, you can't trust, getting anything in Africa or things like that, like all the different, I won't say lies, but all the different things that are floating out there. We're kind of like the middleman to help make it comfortable, to make that process easier, to explain like land leases and like just different things that are so different here in the Western world that, are just the everyday in Ghana.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there is a lot of talk out there in regards to Africa and doing things and getting things done in Ghana. I talk about Ghana a lot, but yes, things are not always easy. And unfortunately, yes, we do have scenarios where people have been, duped or, the monies have been run off. And, you might get even a scenario where somebody has invested money and the house doesn't get built. I mean, we've had scenarios like that to try and deal with. But recommendations are good, but you also need to, do your due diligence, if you want to call it that. I think also, I mean, from my personal experience, I think what you've done or what you continue to do is quite important, and that's being present. So you travel to Ghana on a regular basis to kind of check in. You can't, I guess to some extent, I won't even put that. You need to be present in Ghana as much as possible, managing, I guess you can say it's slightly different. If you were, let's say, I don't know, in the US, managing a business in UK, again, it's very different. But Ghana, you need to be present as much as possible for all kinds of reasons. How did you find, I mean, you mentioned that you bought your property or invested in a property from DevTraco, you're working with them. How did you find things like the system of actually purchasing a property? And the reason I say that is because, let's say in the UK, we're very much used to things like mortgages, where you pay off for 25 years, 15 years, 30 years, whatever it is, and you manage, Whereas in Ghana, it's very different. It's very different. You don't often get very many companies that give you a long-term installment plan, a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, max. Or there's the other option of actually getting a mortgage via some of the banks. But the interest rate is...
The interest rates are pretty high. I mean, it could be anywhere from 12 to 18%. I mean, while that number is on the city and not the US dollar, it's still, pretty high, considerably higher than what, we're used to here in the States, which at the highest right now, I think we're like somewhere around like 7%, and everyone's still pissed off about that. So, so I was dealing with like two different developers, DevTraco and also Gold Coast, which is building the Heritage 100 in Laboni, which I think is going to be a beautiful building. But with DevTraco, there's two options. Either you're going to self-finance or mortgage. And for me, I decided that I was going to self-finance. I didn't want to, not that I didn't want to deal with the bank, but I didn't want to, in the long run, spend more money over time when I also knew that, I had the funds to do it. So I just wanted to do it at once, schedule like my payment plan that I wanted to schedule. And, it was accepted. So it was actually really, really seamless and easy. There was the back and forth, negotiating, and then, my contract, the offer letter, like everything just like went by seamlessly. I mean, there were days that I can say it's not like in the West where it's like, okay, yeah, I'll get you this tomorrow. Maybe it was like 2 days, delayed, but it still wasn't, it wasn't a difficult process.
Yeah.
And even with Gold Coast, I created the schedule that I wanted for payment. And, and they accepted that. So it wasn't anything that was difficult. But again, like I made sure that I met with the developer. Like I had the opportunity to do that. I met with even the architect. I went and saw, because it was an off plan.
Okay.
They didn't break ground. They broke ground in April with the Heritage 100. So I still wanted to see like what their other buildings look like, because I am from Jamaica. I do understand the process of off plan. I think that's foreign for like other people that are used to just like purchasing a home that you can fully see. But for me, I do have a little bit more trust. I have a lot of risk in me. I am definitely risk tolerant. So
and it's paid off.
Situations, it has. And so with the business that I have, I can speak, from experience to our clients that they can have more ease going into a situation that they may not have experienced here in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. I mean, please share a bit more about your business, your projects, your aspirations. How's that going? I mean, of course, share what you want to. You don't need to tell us everything, but yeah, it's quite interesting because you're doing some fun things, girl.
It's pretty exciting. I never thought, I'm a creative person. I'm a filmmaker. I make videos for fun, and in my life or my career. But I wanted to diversify just how I make money. And I always wanted to grow and have a real estate portfolio. So because I love Ghana so much, it made sense for me to start there. And with Investwise Africa, we officially just launched a company, less than like about a month ago at Africon here in LA. Africon was great. We did a real estate masterclass. My business partner, he has multi-unit properties in Kigali, Rwanda, and also single family homes. And I told him he's never been to Accra, so he's coming with me, in a week and a half. And I told him so much, about Accra, like the opportunity that's there. It is a more expensive price tag, but like we get so many questions from people that go like, how can I invest? How can I do this? How can I have a vacation home? Or, just how can I like invest in Africa and make sure that my money is actually going towards that investment? So because of that, that's how we decided to start this company together. And one of our main things is that we will be doing these investor conference tours. So we have in June of 2024, we'll be doing our investor conference in Accra. We're doing the investor conference in Rwanda, December the 3rd of this year in 2023. And with that, it's a 9-day conference. We have experts in real estate and tourism and agriculture and in technology. And within those 9 days, we also, we have a give back, action, because we want to go either, go to feed people, or just be able to donate time, whether it's at orphanages or, or speaking at schools. But also there's a culture ad. We want people that are planning on investing in any country to understand the culture, be educated on the history, also have some nightlife and things like that. So we want it to be like a well-rounded conference so that people really get every aspect of Accra, Kigali. And we have a sponsor so far. We should be sponsored by Alafia, and then for the 2024 in Accra, we are currently working with a new developer. I can't mention it just yet, but that's why I'll be June to grab some content and help us sell those properties. But we're pretty excited with just taking people, to the continent that's always wanted to go, that's never been, but also want an opportunity to invest.
Yeah, and look at the terrain and see what's out there. Please do remind us, and make sure you share with us information on the dates.
Yes.
And strangely enough, we do have some people that we engage with in Kigali. Last year we had our Guba Awards in Rwanda. And we do have some people that reach out to us from that side of town. So it will also be interesting to share and promote your project, business to them as well. And also do let us know when the Accra one is happening.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. And I forgot to say we had a meeting with the Rwanda Development Board, and they're going to be one of our sponsors and be on board with the conference too. So that was huge for us to get that. And I want to connect with the Diaspora Affairs office in Accra and just make sure that, not only are we bringing diasporans there, but there are plenty of people in Accra that also want to learn and have those same opportunities. So that's a big goal of mine too.
Yeah, I mean it's great. What I'm going to do now, very quickly, because I'm aware that Natasha's got to run off and get her flight. I'm going to open up the floor to questions. So I'll be interjecting with a couple of questions. I'm going to bring Natasha on.
Very good. I am still here. Yes, Bess. I was just listening to her story. Absolutely incredible.
Yes, we have to work together too. So we gotta talk after
Definitely. I've got a question here from Ella Armstrong, who's also a member. How about those who want to invest outside of Accra? Do you offer assistance? And I'm assuming you're talking about property investment, Ella. So I think I would put that to Candice.
Yeah, I mean, and I know Natasha can jump into, because we were talking about like other places outside of Accra, definitely, because I think that now that Accra is saturated, there's still definitely opportunity in Accra, but there's so many other places. Ghana's a big country, so there's a lot. And where I have my land is in the eastern region, it's near Chebi, but in Dunasi, and that's where I'll be building these eco cabins for tourism. So there's definitely opportunity to not only invest in real estate, but even in agriculture. There's definitely opportunities outside of Accra.
Okay. All right, brilliant.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And you're in Kumasi, Natasha, so that's outside of
absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I would second everything that my sister just said. If you want to get your bang for your buck, if you want to get your bang for your buck, I highly recommend looking at investment opportunities outside of Accra, just because right now, the prices are beyond high right now as far as investment goes. So if you're someone who's new to the investment scene, I would look at like East Legon area, which is still kind of near Accra. I know that area is up and coming, and they have the high rental yields are there as well. So I mean, you don't have to go too far out, but you don't have to just stay in Accra, right? Try and skirt on the outside to get more money for your bang for your money.
And I mean, definitely in the Volta region as well, I see that question came up. I mean, as I mentioned, the Akasambo, the school that I visit to speak at, that's definitely in the Volta region. There are I haven't like done the research yet to be up to date, but I know that there's still like beachfront land,
Mhm.
in like Kita and like different places like over there, that if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to maybe build like a small, like resort or bed and breakfast, or even just a home, like there's still lots in Pram Pram. The jury's still out in Pram Pram because I know that airport is not going to be built. But I know that there are a lot of like Americans that have built property and have like lots of land in Pram Pram because they want beachfront property.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of opportunities outside of Accra.
Yeah, not only that, but the Bree area. A lot of our
Love
diaspora
Abri.
that are coming in, they want to be in a Bree where they have that mountain view. It's still kind of, I'm sorry, it's still kind of cool when you get that scenic view overlooking Accra. So a Bree is a new hot area as well.
Okay, yes, agree. And I think people like Abri because it's the mountains and it's a bit cooler up there. And also
Right.
the view is beautiful. I don't know if you guys
Exactly.
have like that's like my hideout spot just over there. Yeah.
Right.
It
I
is.
I, I want to have a home over there too. I mean,
Right.
I know
Yeah.
Rita Marley has her compound over there.
Right.
There's still like some great restaurants. Because Abri reminds me of where I'm from, Jamaica, because I'm from the hills
Yeah.
in Jamaica, so
Mm,
it's pretty much the same.
right.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. I mean, you see, Abri is just one of them as well. I mean, there are lots, and it's interesting that more and more questions are coming up about outside of Accra because, yes, Accra, it is, becoming expensive. Yes, it is becoming a bit choked, but Ghana, there's loads of land. There's loads of land. Everybody's
Water
like,
Extreme, the water is beautiful in Extreme. I mean, it's
Let's say, ladies, let's say 2024 is all about expansion outside of
yes,
Accra, right? Let's
amen.
get them
Yes.
moving, right? The conversation needs to grow outside of
Yeah,
Accra.
yeah,
So,
it does. I mean, the thing is that it's a matter of time. I mean, I do believe it is a matter of time.
mhm.
And, I don't know if it goes for everyone, but sometimes when you get one big developer that decides to do something outside of a car, everybody kind of follows. You understand? Whereas,
Right. Yes.
we as individuals, we could be the ones to kind of start with a group of a
Right.
community or friends or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even I know I don't know this person personally, but right there in Akasambo off the Volta, river, I mean, it's newish. The Bay, what is it? The Bay Bridge, the Bay View Hotel.
Oh,
That
the bridge view.
Yeah, the Bridgeview Hotel. I mean, that's
Bridge.
a
Yeah.
gorgeous property. I know they're still like
Beautiful.
building it up, but the view's beautiful. The food's really good. The
Yeah.
customer service can be better, but that's something that we talk about.
Right.
Very, very polite, amazing staff. But yeah, I definitely see within the next 5 years that, the conversation isn't going to just be about Accra. Even in the
Right.
Cape Coast region, I have a friend
Right.
that invested in a restaurant, there. There's things that are definitely happening and growing. It's just a matter of time, like you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. We can highlight so many different opportunities. We have right now we have on the market a beachfront property in Ada. It's called Shark Island, where he's building like a resort style, kind of similar to Safari Valley, and it's just absolutely incredible. So it's just, and when we did our presentation, because we do a one-on-one spotlight with different developers, letting them highlight on our platform what investment opportunities they have, and Ghanaians came on our platform and they're like, we didn't even know this existed. I'm like, how do you
Yes.
not know your own country? But it happens, right? So yeah.
It does happen. It's one of these things that I mean, for me personally, I'm a traveler. So wherever I go, I will investigate, I will find out, I will go to certain places just to find out what's there. But you find that you do get a lot of countries where people literally just stay in the city.
Mm,
They don't go, they don't travel out. So yeah, there's a lot of things that other people that want to explore will find out. Can I just go back to the fact? I mean, Candice, you touched on this, and I've just got to ask this question and got to get your opinion on it. I'm going to go back, rewind. You mentioned customer service. Customer
mm,
service in the whole realm of all your investment and opportunities and everything, how are you managing, or what's your take, and what needs to be done?
So, as my sister Natasha said, patience is key. Like, if I didn't have patience before, I learned patience in Ghana, right? Um, and we were talking about this before. There is this thing where everybody just says yes, even when they don't understand what you're asking, or maybe they've run out of something at a restaurant, or they don't know how to do something, but they still say yes because of this polite factor, right? And I think that I, I I don't know, like, if there is like proper customer service trainings in place, or if people are just thrown into work without having like a training period of like maybe like 2 to 3 or 4 weeks. Because I know here in the States, before people are put in front of customers, they have to go through a training process before they can interact with customers. So I would say that if there was like a company that came to do customer service training in Ghana, that would probably benefit a lot. That would benefit a lot of people that are coming over that may not have as much patience as people like us that are looking to be serviced the way they are in the Western world. Even though that's something I tell people all the time. I'm like, don't go to someone's country expecting to be treated the same way that you're treated in your country. I'm like, that's just ignorant in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because yeah, there are certain things that you should know going to a different country will be different. But again, I think that there are certain things that you can bring to the country to help improve for the international community. I mean, in order to kind of engage further with Ghana, we all, lots of different people would like to engage and develop, and invest. But in order to bring those investment and maintain those investments, certain things may need to be adjusted. I won't say change completely, but it's a process. Natasha, what's your take on customer service and how you have kind of managed it with your engagement as well?
Well, um, when I came over in 2019, the travel agency that we came over with was the Dinko Group, which is owned by the president of the African American Association of Ghana. He was very clear in letting us know that customer service, we needed to be hmm, we need to be understandable. Basically, we need to be mindful that it's not going to be the same. It's not like Starbucks customer service in the United States. Their customer service is a little bit different. So we did not go to restaurants when we were starving. We went ahead of time. We need to wait. And so me coming over the first time with the Dinko group, he laid it all out for us. So I understood the expectation when it came to customer service. I mean, I waited a whole 2 hours for a bath towel. I missed Rick Ross and everything in December because I needed a bath towel. I couldn't take a shower. So, I learned. I just
Let's.
you have to learn. Like she said, it's very ignorant of you to come over to another country thinking it's going to be the same like the States. But we can only hope, right, that it would be the same. But it's not. But I know that the Ghanaian government and system, they're doing what they can, and even the employees, they see, they don't like getting yelled at. I mean, who likes to get yelled at, right? So they're trying to figure out a way to mix the two cultures together to make it beneficial for everyone. But again, I think it's just a mindset thing. Be patient, and just don't go nowhere starving. Okay, bring a snack, put it in your purse,
I,
bring
I
a
want
water bottle.
I want to touch on the time. Like, I am always very surprised when
Yeah.
I set a meeting in Ghana and somebody
Oh
shows up
gosh.
on time.
Oh
I am always surprised but thankful.
yeah.
So that is definitely like another thing. There is CP time, like we say in America, coffee time, but then there's Ghana time, and that is definitely different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think sometimes, well, sometimes we do talk about the timing. I think what you would find in general in Ghana is that yes, the pace is a lot slower. Even the way people walk or the way people might do things. Whereas in the Western world, UK, In the morning, we call it rush hour. I mean, of course, it's called rush hour in most places, but in the morning, you find that you're rushing to the station, train station. You're not even late, but because everyone is rushing, you're rushing. But I believe, although I haven't looked at the statistics just yet, but I believe when it comes to things like stress levels, okay, Ghanaians are probably a lot lower than the Western world
Yes.
because we just, yes. So, it's kind of like, okay, so what do I want? Do I want less stress and less, or do I want to, I don't know. It's got to be a balance between the two. But yeah, it is a learning curve. It's a learning curve for all of us. It is a learning curve for all of us. Okay, Natasha, I realize that you've got to head off and we're going to wrap up very shortly. But before we go, is Natasha's sound?
Here.
Okay,
I'm
so
here.
before we go, what do you want to leave with the audience? What do you want to let people know about your journey? Any sort of like last phrase or last sentence or word of advice? The reality versus
Yeah.
the dream.
If you don't mind, if I can go first, just because I
Yeah,
don't know what I have like 4 minutes, is
that's right.
anyone on the call that has not visited Ghana, we want you to take everything that we said into consideration on the call, but do not let this prevent you from coming to visit. Because when I tell you, when you land, you're going to just put it on your American Express. Every 3 months, just have a ticket ready to come to Ghana, because you're going to figure it out. If you don't have the money, you're going to figure out how to go and visit Ghana and be a part of the movement that's going on. For so many years, they kept things from us. Oh, I'm very diplomatic. Well, thank you. I tried to be. I was going to run for the mayor, but I changed my mind. Also, my train of thought. Yeah, see, she got me blushing. It's very important that you come back and you visit and you figure out what's going on, how you can get involved, right? Tell a friend to tell a friend. I didn't even talk about the tour groups that we partner with the Queer properties that are going to be coming in October and December. I have one with the Christian Millionaire Book Club in October. We're getting as many people as we can from the Western world to come over. Then in December, we have tons of real estate professionals that are coming over for Savvy Chicks in Real Estate. We're going to do a huge summit called Women in Business, Ghana edition. So, ladies, I might have you on the panel
Yeah,
speaking.
definitely
Who
let
knows,
me know about
right?
that.
Right. Yeah, I want
Excellent.
international fabulous speakers as well as local speakers as well. So, please get involved. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. We look forward to seeing you guys in Ghana.
Excellent. Oh, that sounds really exciting. Definitely. Okay. Candice also?
So, I mean, what I would say, I can just echo some of the same sentiments, but my big thing is that, when you're going to go to Ghana, don't just go for enjoyment. There's so much culture, there's so much history to learn. There's so many people that, want to learn from people that are in the Western world that don't have the opportunity to, be educated in the UK or in the US. So I say go into if you're visiting, like leave your resort, leave your hotel, leave your Airbnb, go into local restaurants, speak to staff, go to local neighborhoods, buy from stands, not just the Macola Market and all these other places. Really go and talk to the people and find out, what it is that they're needing, that they're even wanting in the country, what they're lacking, because I find those conversations so useful for me to continue to understand, the place that I love, that I call my second home. So that's always my word of advice. And just come, because you're going to get everything. You're going to have an amazing time. You're going to get amazing food. You're going to have the best parties in your life. And you're also going to be frustrated. But, I think that there's balance to life. And so I say just come.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Candice. So Natasha, you probably got to run off, but there's somebody that probably wants to connect with you, Ella Armstrong. She's, I think, it says Kumasi International Airport is a talk now to help expand the area. I'm close to it now, but looking for something else. Natasha, since you're there, like to get to know or like to get more information. So I could really with that. But
Sorry.
ladies, thank you so much. I think there's one or two more comments before we go. Candice, there's one for you from Estate Man. He
From
says, hi, Dennis. Hi, Candice. Dennis here. Do you have any plans investing in Tema? I think there is more investment opportunity here as well.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I mean, I've definitely been to Tema. I have friends that own property in Tema, and I've even looked at property myself there. Bye, Natasha. But
Hi,
Everybody.
I don't have any
Bye.
I don't have any plans right now for Tema.
Okay, so okay, excellent. But yeah, it seems like there's great opportunities. And Ella Armstrong is saying you are correct. I don't know if it's about a customer service or whatever else, but whatever you're saying is correct. And also, Honorine is highlighting that Candice, yes, you're right.
And probably
Yeah.
about just getting to know people, like I said, Jamaica's a big tourist place, right? And I always tell my friends or people that I meet, get off the resort, go speak to people, go eat local foods. Don't eat your scrambled eggs and pancakes and whatever else you're used to eating in the Western world, but just really like get ingrained into the culture.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, customer service and get out. Yes, definitely. I mean, Candice, it's been lovely having you on this session. I believe that you've probably got lots more to share. Please do make sure that you connect with us, continue to connect with us. Send us any flyers or any other information that you might want to share on your projects or what kind of things you're doing. Even the give back initiatives. I think that's really great and encouraging for others. And just listening to you, it seems like there is a lot more in store coming, and quite excited about the events in Rwanda. The Rwanda Development Board, they're excellent. I mean, we were really good, they're really on point. Also about the project next year in Ghana, the conference next year in Ghana. Do make sure that you send us the flyer. We're promoted to the network and everyone out there. But thank you ever so much. I really wish you all the best. I will share information about your company and your organization that you sent to us with the network, so they're also informed. And I look forward to engaging with you guys a bit more in the future.
Thank you. I look forward to meeting you in person. I'll definitely connect when I get to Accra.
Yes, definitely. So, okay, somebody. Oh gosh, we've got. Well, Candace, I'll be in Ghana in 2 weeks, so let me know.
I should be there. We just met at Africon, so hey, girl, hey. I will. I'll just text you.
Okay, excellent. And then we've just got a few more comments. By the way, I'm Ghanaian, married to an African American from Ohio, grew up in London. Oh, okay. Oh, that's Natasha. Natasha married a Ghanaian. And she was highlighting that.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much family in London. My grandmother and my uncles and aunts and cousins are in London. It's a big melting pot. Lots of Jamaicans there.
Yes. Well, once again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Candice. Lovely having you. It wasn't that bad, was it?
It was great. It was great.
It was great. Okay. So Candice, we will catch up with you. Guys, thank you ever so much. We've come to the end of another session of GDN SEAT, where we give members the opportunity to talk about the projects. Let's hear about what people are doing. Let's understand. Let's engage. Let's connect with them. I mean, already we're putting together a few connections here, and let's hear about people's journeys. Not everyone's journey is the same. Not everybody is ready to make that journey, but we can all learn something from each other. And we thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It's been a great, insightful session. It's been an opportunity to learn more about the network, learn more about the members in the network and what they're doing and their various projects. And, you guys also come and share your projects. Come and share about who you are, what you're doing. Some of the connections have been made just through some of the comments. It's great. And these are the platforms that we try and encourage people to come on. Hopefully it's not that scary. Nobody's going to bite your head off. It's more like a conversation. So do make sure you reach out to us if you would like to be on the next GDN SEAT, which will be on, let me just check the date. the first Monday in July, which will be the 3rd of July. So Monday, the 3rd of July, if you would like to be on the next GDN SEAT, do reach out to us, do contact us. You can either email or you can call us. Our number is 024-515-6705, or email us at info@gubadiasporanetwork.com or diasporatransitionnetwork@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you guys join us again, or join me and the team are on the chat as well, next month as we do the next GDN SEAT session. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening, and thank you all once again. My name is Jennifer Jankofa, and I'm the head of Diaspora Engagement and Partnerships for the GUBA Diaspora Network. See you guys all soon. Oh, let me just share something with you, and I'll send it to the network very shortly. But the GUBA Awards, for those of you that may or may not know about the GUBA Awards, but the GUBA Awards is going back to the UK. So I can't say the month yet, but the GUBA Awards will be coming to the UK. So watch out for that. There'll be more information shared for those of you that have known about the GUBA Awards. If not, we'll share information about it. So good night all, and have a lovely evening. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.